It's almost paradise.
I like that.
Woo!
I always love your commentary.
We'll leave that for later. Welcome to the Batch Chat, guys. I'm Kira. This is Jamie, as you know. Jess isn't gonna be joining us today because she's not feeling well, so everyone in the comments give her a get well rose, please. And we're gonna get right into it. This week, it was the Women Tell All, as you know. We decided for something special this week. We were gonna give out a list of fun roses. So things like respect rose, clapback rose, deserved better rose, all these fun roses we're gonna be giving out, and you should give yours down below too. And we'll keep it positive, but a little sassy.
So before we get into this week's episode, we have to, of course, talk about the Bachelorette announcement. Guys, I'm so excited. I don't know if we had any part in manifesting this into existence.
Yes.
Because last week when we gave our picks, I said I wanted Claire Crawley.
And we called it, we have the receipts,
Yeah.
time code on our last episode.
I am very team no one from this season. My choice would actually be from 5 years ago. You guys remember Claire Crawley? I still want her to find love. And I didn't think there would be any way they would choose her because she's from 6 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, she's 38. I wasn't sure if they would be open to that.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad they chose her.
I know, it's the oldest Bachelorette in history. Rose ceremony. The episode starts out with a tiny little rose ceremony where we have our top 3 narrowed down to our top 2. They made it so that Madison was just a bit late so that everyone thought she wasn't gonna show up, and she did. And she looked great when she showed up. Her dress was fire. I loved it so much. Shout out to Chris Harrison for coming back. Where were you? We missed you.
So as probably expected, Hannah Ann gets the first rose, and then there's a lot of suspension, and Madison is given the last rose. And it was the most probably awkward reception of a rose of all time.
Sure.
If she doesn't want it, no one's forcing her to be there.
Yeah,
Go home.
the whole thing was pretty much summed up by the rose itself. When Peter went to pick it up, it literally just fell apart, and I was like, that's an omen. Now we have Madison left, we have Hannah Ann left, and Victoria F went home.
Yeah, which I've been wanting the entire season. But in that moment, I actually felt bad for her because she probably wants to be there more than Madison does.
You really put your heart out there.
I know, I don't want to hear it. Truly, I don't.
I was expecting Victoria F to not get a rose because I had heard rumors she was going to be at the Women Tell All. So I wasn't really surprised. I was kind of just like, yeah, it makes sense.
That is what it is.
And yeah, I'm really hoping that Madison and Peter kind of figure their stuff out because I do think that they would make a great couple. We'll see. Women Tell All, finally the moment we've been waiting for.
Okay, so before we start anything, Kelly and Natasha are not there.
I know.
So apparently Kelly wasn't actually invited. No one really knows what happened, but she said she wasn't invited.
It would have been so good if Natasha was there. She would have gotten every single clapback rose we could have ever given.
Definitely.
I love her.
Yeah.
I really hope to see her on Paradise.
I hope everybody wore their most comfortable lingerie.
So our first confrontation of the night starts off with Alea, who I actually really felt bad for. She didn't really do anything wrong. People kind of just hated her. They thought she was kind of loud.
I word vomit. Sometimes I just don't think before I talk.
We kind of get more of the Alea Victoria P drama.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of going at it. Sydney gets involved.
Everyone's
Yeah.
going at it.
I think what was malicious is Sydney going to Peter.
No, it wasn't malicious, Alexa, because we were having a conversation. Sydney, you told Peter you were.
I was like, where is this coming from? The only rose that I want to give out in this moment is my mood rose to Chris Harrison because mood.
That's not okay. You can literally
I really felt bad for Alea all throughout, so I definitely would give her my deserved better rose because I think she really did deserve better throughout this whole journey. I want to give a respect rose to Xian. The fact that she was the first one to bring up the Victoria P thing.
You were expressing these things, saying how you don't like Alea, how you don't like her personality and all these things, but then at the rose ceremony, you're holding her hand and coddling her.
So I love that Xian was just direct and called her out. My clapback rose goes to Savannah.
Yes.
I love Savannah because the few times we saw her on the show, she was standing up for Alea. She was kind of just calling people out like she should.
Yeah.
And I love that on the stage she called Victoria P out for being fake.
I'm
So
weird.
it's weird. That's fake. It's not weird.
okay,
But
go ahead.
fake. You are the fakest person in the house.
Which
Yeah.
vibes.
And I
We're here.
cheered.
And that's pretty much it. It was very chaotic. I don't think anything was settled. They just fueled the fire and then we're like, we'll leave that for later. Next, we went on to the other dilemma of the season, which was Tammy v. Kelsey. I definitely want to give a total liar rose to Tammy.
I was concerned for you, and the thing is, that wasn't the first time that you've done that.
Every time she says she's concerned for Kelsey, I just don't believe it.
Yeah.
Questionable motives. Total liar, Rose, Tammy. Also, I want to give a huge respect rose to Kelsey in this situation. I'll give her a long-stemmed rose, because mucho respecto. Because she took on what Tammy was saying to her very well. Throughout the season, Tammy was pretending to be concerned for her and was bringing up all these accusations, and they were pretty serious accusations, and Kelsey just went in and said, you know what, this is not fair for people that actually struggle with addiction and substance abuse, and I thought that was really great of her to bring up, and I really respected that. So huge respect rose to Kelsey.
And it's also very rude to the people that do go through those diseases, and I'm not okay with that.
I don't know if the debate was settled. I don't think any debates were
None
settled
were.
last night.
Nothing.
I still respect you both, but she gets the long stem respect. Yay. Oh no. Whatever.
On to Tammy and McKenna. I was kind of excited for this confrontation. McKenna kind of went again with her, you know, her speeches. She loves to just like quote her Pinterest, Instagram quotes, whatever. And Tammy, you know, I agree that she was being really harsh, but I definitely laughed when she called McKenna out.
I don't have place in my heart for that. I don't have energy
How long
for
did
that.
you rehearse this?
Honestly, yeah, that was pretty good. I'll put Tammy up on the board, but she's kind of gonna get an uncalled for rose from me. Tammy was just like uncalled for, like dragging these women.
Yeah.
Like she said some stuff about McKenna that was wild. She was like,
Every time a camera was around, you'd always spread your legs.
I was like,
Yeah.
when did this happen? Like it was just like insult after insult, which I was like uncalled for.
I agree.
Uncalled
It's like a
for.
missed opportunity because I think she really could have apologized
Yeah.
for the things she said on the show.
Yeah.
She chose not to.
Very sad. Kelsey's hot seat. She gets my redemption rose because this whole season I was a bit like, you know, Kelsey, a little dramatic, could do without. But now I like really respect her. I think she went up there and talked about how it's important to have emotions.
Emotions are a good thing, and men and women should be empowered by that, and they should appreciate vulnerability and accept it and not look at it as a negative.
I just was like, Kelsey, thank you so much for like making me want to have emotions, because that takes a lot. I'm like a rock. I have like 3 emotions: hunger, and where's the food?
In my case, I would give her my Paradise Rose. I want to see her in Paradise. I think she deserves another chance at love.
Yeah.
She's someone now we're kind of rooting for.
Yeah. Maybe the producers made her look bad dramatic this season. Maybe Paradise will make her look thriving
Yeah.
dramatic. You never know. And then after that, we had a little Champagne Gate reunion. She got a ginormous bottle of champagne. So it was just great. It was a celebration of all things bubbly. Victoria F. Hot Seat, the hottest of hot seats.
After all the speculation that's gone on in the last few months, Chris Harrison finally sits down with Victoria F. and asks her point blank.
So to be clear, have you broken up marriages?
Absolutely not.
They kind of just gave her the opportunity to deny, which she did.
Absolutely not.
All I'm gonna say on that is she gets my total liar rose. It was not just one woman that came forward, it's been several.
Multiple.
Yeah, multiple, yeah.
Right.
Reality Steve has the tea, so you guys can go look that up if you're interested.
She kind of gave an anecdote about why she was holding back on the season. It was hard for her to like let her emotions out. It's hard for me too, I get it. And at one point, Chris Harrison said something along the lines of like,
I'm sitting here with this woman who's very articulate, who's owning her emotions. This is the woman Peter fell in love with, and I see it now.
Thank you.
and I'm like, Chris, how is this woman so like articulate, just poised in front of you on this live show that is literally known for being dramatic, yet on a season that is pre-filmed and kind of like picked apart, she seems like an absolute crazy person. So it kind of made me think that maybe the producers just really amped it up and maybe she's not that bad. And maybe I'll give her a Paradise Rose. She could get redemption there. She seemed like she was actually maturing, and we strive to mature. So now we have the most forgettable part of the night, Peter's hot seat.
I never thought I would be in a room with so many exes, but here we are.
Point A is that Victoria F. and Peter finally make amends. She says she adores him, and they probably had the most mature conversation they've had all season.
Thank you. And also, I'm sorry.
It is what it is. Then we have McKenna, who basically brings up the fact that Peter sent her home literally 20 minutes after saying that he wanted to keep her.
I didn't care. I don't know why McKenna acts like she had any chance whatsoever, you know? He answered the best he can, which seems to be the answer to everything. He's just trying his best.
He's trying his best.
I was trying my best.
Literally right after that, Savannah's like, hey, Peter, what's up with rewarding all the drama? And Peter's like, yeah, there's like rumors that I like reward drama. I don't know.
I've seen a lot going around that I was someone that rewarded the drama.
And then he's like, I'm just trying my best.
I was trying my best.
It's okay, Peter. Maybe you should just keep it in the sky. After that, we moved into a really heartbreaking segment where Rachel Lindsay came in and she kind of just talked about hate speech and how the women are really getting bullied online, essentially cyberbullied, for being on the show, and it was really sad.
Yeah.
How many of you have faced true hate? Not criticism, true hate. That's 100% of you.
We are gonna give some huge roses to all the women. We wanna give deserved better roses because nobody deserves that. And we wanna give real tears roses because those were the most real tears I've seen all season and they were deserved. It was very sad. It really reminded us to think twice before we say anything rude. And we're hopefully perpetuating love and kindness on the show, even though we say some sassy things, a little sass is fun. And it also made me think that Chris Harrison was curating this whole segment about not being cruel to these women when his producers are the ones that literally make these women look like that on screen and are probably the reason for a lot of the hate.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Chris Harrison, think twice next season. Let's get into our Paradise picks. Who are you hoping will go to Paradise?
I'm definitely hoping to see Kelsey in Paradise. I just think she deserves another chance. I think the champagne thing that happened so early on kind of screwed her up for the whole season.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to see her thrive. And
I agree.
Alea, who I mentioned before, I just think she really deserved better. People were so harsh on her for no reason.
Yeah.
And I think she deserves a chance without all these girls getting in her way.
I already gave mine before to Victoria F. I also think she was kind of unfairly, well, I don't know if it's unfair. She was definitely treated with some harshness on this season, and maybe she will thrive in Paradise. She at least brings drama, and drama brings viewers. So I also, oh no, Victoria F. I sounded like Ariana Grande from Victorious.
You absolutely did.
I also want to give one to my girl, Lexi. I really want Lexi and Natasha to be in Paradise together, like I said for Bachelorette, because they are a tag team in real life, and I think that would be freaking dope. Bring me my baby. Almost Paradise. Those are our Paradise picks. We're walking on heaven's door. Frontrunner Rose time. It's the best time. We love this time. Next week's the finale. Who do you think's gonna win? It's not a competition, I'm so sorry. Who do you think's gonna find love?
I really still think he needs to pick Hannah Ann. I think they're the best match.
Yeah.
But I think at this point, it's very obvious that he's already chosen Madison in his mind.
When he gave the rose to Madison, he's clearly looking to get over their differences.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna pick her, but I think someone has to run away.
Don't let her go. Bring her home. Bring her home to us.
So that's what we're thinking for the finale. We're thinking it's gonna be Maddie. We kind of think it should be Hannah Ann.
Yeah.
Either one, they're great gals. We'll see. Now, our front runner roses of this episode. Who's your front runner rose for this episode?
I have two to give, and it is to our girls, Kelly and Natasha, because they didn't have to go through that. It was a disaster, and they're lucky that they got to stay home for it.
Very true. Also, Natasha had some funny Instagram stories that I'm gonna go watch after this because I need her tea. I'm gonna give my front runner rose to the old lady at the end of the episode that literally takes back champagne like a champ, and that's my hero. Death row. You know what? We don't need a death. We don't need a death rose.
Where are you going with this?
We don't need death roses. We're just gonna celebrate all these women. That's it. So that was the Women Tell All. The women told us all. They told us everything, all they could, and that was all. All that was allowed. The Women Tell All.
Well said. Be sure to leave comments in this episode. Let us know who you would give your roses to.
Give us some clapback roses. Give us some total liar roses, deserve better roses, and respect roses because we need those. We all do. We are gonna see you next week for a 2-episode finale. We're doing 2 episodes too. Woo! So 2 times the Batch Chat, Tuesday and Wednesday. We will see you. Bye.
We're gonna throw a rose in honor of
This one's for Jess.